the ears, you will need to keep fiddling with pins and getting it exactly where you want them to be in place. And when you're really happy with it, thread up your needle and sew them from the back down to there and then back to there. And then finish with a knot there, pass your thread through the bear, right down to here and cast it off at the bottom there. Same with this one, sew to the very end, sew back, over sew it a little bit to keep it in place, thread it through the bear, down to the neck and then fasten off down there. That will make sure that the ears are securely in place and can't be pulled off. Okay, there's the ears sewn on. And when you take the thread through to the bottom, you might have to keep going in and out of the felt, but it doesn't show. Okay, for the nose. Now, you've been dividing your thread up now into twos. For the nose and mouth, you keep it 6 strands together. And I've got a thicker needle, so I can take the 6 strands. I'm just going to take that through the nose like that. And I'm going to go back over. So I've made a line across like that. Then I'm going to go to the centre and then back out through that side. So basically I'm making a triangle and then back in. So I've sewed across and sewed down, and I've made a triangle. Now I'm going to come up above that first line that I made. So if you look here, I'm now back over the top, and that's your guideline. So you're going to go back into the middle, and then I tend to go alternate sides and then back out the other side. Back into the middle and back to the other side, to that guideline. Okay, I've now embroidered the nose as a triangle. You can see on the other bears here, each nose has its own character actually once you make them. Now you don't have to do a triangle. If you wanted to, you could just go backwards and forwards. But I just like the triangle shape. Now I brought my thread at the top and I'm going to go down into underneath the nose there. And I'm going to come out at the side to start the mouth. And I'm going to take it right across and line it up so that I've got the mouth going across. But I actually want it to be a V shape. So I'm now going to bring the needle down in the seam, lower down, and pull. And I now got my V shape. And then I'm going to take it underneath the mouth, back up to the nose, at the bottom, and then back down past the mouth, and then I'm just going to bring it back up the top. So I now got my V shape and my piece going down. Now I just need to cast off. Or if you wanted to, if you've got enough thread, you can go across and start to sew the eyes on. So I've got plenty of thread here, and I'm going to take one of the eyes and thread it on down. So I'm putting my eye just there, and now I've got to take my needle across to the other side, ready to put the other eye on. So I put that in place, take my other button, and thread that in place. And go backwards and forwards a few times before you cast off. Okay, the nose and the mouth are now embroidered, and I had plenty of thread, so I brought it back up through the felt to roughly where I wanted to put the first button. So I'm going to thread that button on. And I've changed to a bigger needle to make it easier. So I'm going to take through the button and line it up with the other side. to roughly get it in the same place. So taking the needle right across. There's one eye in place, thread on the other button, and make sure it's roughly the same, and then go back through, back to the other side to the other button again. I'm going to sew the head onto the body. What I've done is taken 2 strands of navy and I doubled it, so it's now 4 strands. Oops, and I'm going to sew into here a couple of times just to make it secure. Then I'm going to place the head in on like that, and I'm going to do what's called ladder stitch. I'm going to go into the neck of the head and then into the body. I've used a bigger needle again because it's thicker and easy to get through. Into the head. And you can see the ladder stitches starting to develop. Just pull them tight and into the body. I'm going to now add on the legs, and you choose roughly on the body where you want the first leg to be. So I've just gone over a few times to hold it in place, and I'm just going to now push the needle through the leg near the top like that. And I'm going to put a button because it just secures the thread and stops it pulling through the felt. You can use any buttons you like. In the kit we've given you a variety of coloured buttons, but it could be any colour you wanted. And I'm going to now push right through the body and come out the other side roughly in line with where that is, and attach the other leg. And take another button. And I'm going to do that several times, going backwards and forwards to hold those legs in place. Now what you might like to consider is you can either do it quite softly so the buttons don't pull in and they just rest on top, or you can pull it quite tight and it just makes a more of a joint like that. Okay, when I've sewn the buttons across and pulled, I've pulled it back to the other side, and I'm just going to fasten off inside the leg here. Make sure you pull the thread to the tension you want. And then just, so I can sit my bear up. The next stage is to choose exactly where you want the arms to go. And here again I have 2 buttons that I'm going to place on top, and so exactly the same as I did for the legs. I have joined the arms exactly like the legs using the buttons. I've got different colour buttons here, and now we have 4 different rainbow bears. It would be lovely to see them sitting in the window underneath